Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Crit. Today, as you can tell by the title of this video, I thought it would be fun to go through all of the character designs for the Blue Lions from both Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes. Since we have three different versions of each character and different art to accompany them, I figured it might be fun to talk through each of them and give them a rating. And you guys can let me know your ratings in the comment section down below as well. And if you like this video, maybe I'll do it for the other houses as well. Blue Lions are an easy pick, and in my personal opinion, though we haven't seen the Golden Deer students just yet as of the time of this recording, they have the best glow up so far. There's a lot of great new designs for them. So I just thought it'd be fun to kind of go through these and kind of rate them and see what we're thinking here. So without further ado, let's get started. Speaking of which, I think that's a great starting point, so we'll start with Dedu in this video. Dedu is easily one of my favorite characters in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I also think he got a really amazing redesign with Warriors Three Hopes as well. So we're going to start off with that one here, and I think it's a solid S tier for me. There is like a little something missing in it. I don't know if it's him without the ponytail or what it is for me. It's like there's a little something that I want a little bit more of, but I love the beard. I love the new hairstyle. I'm really glad they kind of kept some of the aspects of kind of his scarf or his cloak and his armor from his time skip design from Three Houses. I just think it's like everything beginning to come together and fully mesh even better than last time around. So easy S for me. Like I was saying, I don't know if there's like a little something that could be added to it. It's not coming to mind, but I love this design overall, and I'm a big fan of it. I definitely think Dedu rocks the beard very well. So continuing on, we're going to do his time skip appearance now, and I do think this one is a pretty solid A tier for me as well. He's got the heartbreaking story of kind of fighting for Dimitri and presumably losing his life in Three Houses. However, you fortunately find out that that was not the case. So this one is the more war-torn, battle-scarred version of Dedu, and I also love this one as well. I just think the new one it's just a great new way of seeing him. And so by comparison, I do think the newer one is slightly better. Although I will say maybe that's the missing thing about the new one. Maybe I do wish he had some of those scars, although that does kind of make it a sadder situation because it's Dedu and I don't want anybody to hurt Dedu. So that one's a solid A for me. And I think his original design is also either an A or a B. I'm going to put it in B for now. I really like it. Compared to the other two, it's a little bit more boring, but it's Dedu. I mean, some characters, just the way that they are, they just get that look, and it's just their classic look, and they just own it from day one, and that's Dedu. I would definitely say Felix has that going on too. But let's go into Dimitri now. So Dimitri here has 3. However, I think at the end of this video, I'm actually going to do his alternate version as well from Three Houses. So we'll throw that in the mix. But I'm going to start off here with probably one of the more controversial takes of this video. I'm putting pre-time skip Dimitri in S tier. I really like this design. I know a lot of people don't because they think that he has like noodle hair. You know, they're not a huge fan of that. But from day one, I was Team Dimitri, and I always liked that design. I was in just from the beginning. So I love it. I think it's pretty classic for him. There's not really anything I would change about it. You know, the multiple strands of hair going all over the place are a little bit messy looking. I feel like his in-game model kind of pulled it off a little bit better so that it's not quite that messy. But when you look at what he becomes in Three Houses, it almost makes more sense, I guess. So retroactively, I think it kind of works. But honestly, there's just not much that I'm complaining about with this one. I know some people do, but not me. Time skip Dimitri, I'm going to put in... Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to put it in A. I like his in-game model better than I like the art here in this case. And obviously his hair is not the best, but it's kind of the point. I mean, it's supposed to be unruly all over the place. You know, he's kind of war-torn and battered and messed up. So disheveled is like the look that they're going for, and I think it achieves it very well. I love the eye patch. I mean, the reveal of time skip Dimitri in the trailers was just mind-blowing. The first time I saw it, I legit thought it was a different character because it was just so wildly different from the pre-time skip Dimitri. So I love what they did with him, and it was just so shocking. I had to find out why that became of him, and I love that part of the story. So definitely A tier for me. I think, you know, I do think that there are better hairstyles and stuff for Dimitri, but it's a classic one for me too. So that one's going in A. And I'm going to put his new Three Hopes design in A tier as well. I really like what they've done to kind of redesign the character. It kind of takes some of the aspects of the alternate hair Dimitri from the unlockable in Three Houses and kind of plays with that and makes a more refined and elegant version of time skip Dimitri. And I really appreciate that about it. I don't know how I feel about the ponytail at this point in time, but Warriors 3 Hopes is not out yet, so maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe I'll like the in-game model better. We'll have to see. But overall, I'm not really complaining about this one much either. I quite like it. Moving on from that, I think let's go into Felix now. This is a pretty easy one for me too. I really like the classic pre-time skip Felix design. I think, you know, like I was saying about original Dimitri and original Dedu, some characters, they just have a certain look, and when they hit that look, it's just them. And honestly, you probably see that look in other media, and you look at that character and you say, hey, that reminds me of, you know, so-and-so character from this other thing. They just own it. They just claim it, and it's theirs. And in this case, I really like original Felix's look. I just think it works a lot. So we have that one. I do like time skip Felix as well. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I don't think it's quite as classic as his original appearance, but I don't really have anything to complain about with this one either. I definitely think that the in-game model looks way better than the artwork kind of turned out. Still, overall, when I look at the hair and everything, I think I'm kind of a fan of it. I also like his outfit quite a bit too. They kind of brought in the Swordmaster-esque elements to it since he's got that proficiency in swords, and since Swordmaster is kind of his canon class, if you will, in the game. So I love the outfit, the jacket and stuff that they gave him. However, I will say that the Warriors 3 Hopes Felix that we'll go into next, I do like his outfit as well, and it's very reminiscent of Rodrigue's outfit, which is really cool. So as a redesign, I really like that addition to it. However, I will say about the Warriors 3 Hopes Felix, his hair is looking a little weird in this artwork. Maybe it'll grow on me. I'm going to put it in C tier for now. I know I've definitely seen a lot of comments from people talking about this one. This actual like sprite in-game character portrait, it doesn't look the best because they took his original Three Houses time skip portrait and kind of erased the hair and redid the hair and slapped on this new almost Dynasty Warriors-esque hairstyle on top of it. And I don't hate the hairstyle. He actually looks great in the game so far from what we've been able to tell from the new Blue Lions trailer. But in this artwork, just the angle of his head and the hair, it's like something's a little weird about it. To be honest, I kind of think it's his hairline is just like a little like tilted the wrong way or something. There's just something weird about it. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. Overall, I don't mind it though. I think making him look more like a typical Dynasty Warriors, like samurai swordmaster with the long hair type of deal, I think it works for Felix. And it's almost like a super progression from his other appearances so far. And there's something about that like continuous upward trend that I really like too. And like I was saying, he also has the Rodrigue-esque kind of jacket going on, which I love as well. But moving on, let's get to probably one of the more controversial ones in this video, and that's going to be Mercedes, just because she has a rather drastic time skip appearance difference. Original Mercedes, I'm going to put an S tier, however, with a caveat here, a little asterisk. In the actual game, Fire Emblem Three Houses, there was a little bit of a glitch with this version of Mercedes where part of her hair with the ribbon in it would kind of jump around sometimes when she would do certain animations. It just wasn't fully done correctly if you look closely, and that's always bothered me. If you want to check out what I'm talking about exactly, check out the video up there if you're on YouTube, or I'll put it in the description down below if you are elsewhere. I don't like that. It just makes it so that every time she's in a cutscene as pre-time skip Mercedes, I'm looking for those little glitches in that ribbon now, and it kind of ruins it for me. But overall, as a classic design, I love the original Mercedes hairdo. I love her little shawl and her outfit. I think even her little ribbon is just really beautifully designed. Just absolutely love it. Which is why when we got time skip Mercedes, I was a little bit more on the fence. I know some people really like it, and I could kind of understand where they're coming from, but to be honest, for me, it's kind of a C tier, maybe even a D tier if I really think about it. I just think she had so much potential and they kind of threw it away. I get the whole like nun-esque thing going on here. She definitely looks more kind of holy woman-ish, but to chop off all that beautiful hair and get that kind of worse anime mom haircut, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't help. I do like her little hat, I'll give her that. But I think if you slapped that hat and her new outfit onto her old hairstyle, it might look even better. So that's my thought on that one. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. But I can't lie. I mean, I was a little disappointed when we first got the time skip leaks of the characters for Three Houses. I wasn't that excited about it. It was definitely an interesting one. I mean, there's a lot of characters that really don't change too much. So it is nice to have some characters that do change pretty drastically. over the time skip, but this is not how I wanted her to change. So sorry, Mercy, I think I'm putting you in D tier. And now let's talk about Warriors 3 Hopes Mercedes. I definitely think this one is at least an A tier. I don't know that it's better than her original, though we haven't played Warriors 3 Hopes yet, so maybe it'll grow on me even better. I love her little zigzag kind of hair part that's going on, and I definitely love that her longer hair is back, at least, you know, medium length, even if it was cut a bit. And as for her new outfit, I think it's very Mercy of her too. I don't know that I like it necessarily better than her original pre-time skip one, but overall, I do quite like it so far, and I'm excited to get to use her in the game, so we'll see how that goes. But I just don't think yet that it has solidified for me as quite as classic as the original Mercedes look. All right, let's get on to another potentially controversial one, this one being Annette. I'm gonna put original Annette in D tier. I'm sorry, I know I just hurt people out there. I definitely felt it. I'm just not a huge fan of the little curly pigtails thing going on in her bangs, and D tier, maybe that's a bit harsh. Maybe it's more C tier, but I just want a good spread going here. But it's just not one of my favorite designs, so it's gonna go there. As for her time skip design, I definitely liked it way better, but I did feel still like it could have been better. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's very unoffensive in a lot of ways. Maybe you could argue that she loses a little bit of her characteristic Annette-ness because she doesn't have those little curls, and her hair is kind of a bit more generic than it was before. But I do like her new outfit. I like the colors that they gave her specifically. I love the orange and the blue. And I definitely like the winter coat type of aesthetic that they gave her as well, especially coming from Fargus. I think it works very well. So I do like that one a lot. However, I will concede that the Warriors 3 Hopes version of Annette is way better. Maybe even S tier. I'm gonna put it in S tier, I think. I really like it. It's like they took her original curls, made them these little braided curls. They gave her that almost Rosie the Riveter-esque little handkerchief thing going on in her head. I even love the changes to her jacket and her design. Some people didn't like the cleavage, but no complaints. It's like the perfect combination of all the other Annettes and like your image of Annette when you think of her into one form. So I love it. I think it's the best natural progression we could have gotten for her. Absolutely a big fan of that one. So that's probably the biggest character spread so far across the list. And I know some people are going to definitely disagree with me on original Annette's appearance for sure, but those are my thoughts. Let's get into Ingrid. This is another controversial one too. In fact, the last few I think are going to be pretty controversial. I'm going to put original Ingrid in B tier. There's nothing offensive about it. I do kind of like her hair. She almost looks like a horse riding type of girl based on her hairdo for some reason. I'm not really sure what gives me those vibes about it, but the big kind of combined braid look that she has going on just does that. And it does make sense because canonically she is like a Pegasus Knight kind of character. So I think it works. It's just nothing like amazing in my personal opinion. Time skip Ingrid. I definitely like the in-game model way better than the artwork, but I do think her hair style is a little bit boring. It's like a little bit of a missed opportunity for me. I'm gonna put it in C, but I do really like her colors and her jacket. Once again here with the furs from Fargus and everything, I just really like that aesthetic. It just, I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I just didn't like it quite as much. However, the Warriors 3 Hopes version of Ingrid, which I also know is very controversial, I really like this one. I think it's an S tier for me. Once again, it kind of just keeps those original qualities of Ingrid. You can even see with the kind of split side bangs here. Refines them better, cuts the hair shorter, kind of gives her a more stylized look, and combines a little bit of her pre and post time skip stuff. And I like it. I just think it works. Like I was saying in my Blue Lions trailer video, it reminds me a little bit of the character Athena from Marth's games, Fire Emblem 1, 3, 11, and 12. So I'm digging that look. I definitely think it works here for Ingrid in this case. I know a lot of people think it's a Karen haircut. I don't think it's a Karen haircut. She doesn't look to me like she's gonna go talk to the manager and complain about you. So I have no qualms with this one, but I know some people definitely hate it. This is probably the most controversial haircut of the entire game so far that I've seen for Warriors 3 Hopes. So I didn't think it would be that split, to be honest, when I first saw it, but it happens. Let's go next into Sylvain, because I want to save Ash for last year. That's going to be a big one, I think. Classic pre-time skip Sylvain. I definitely think his hair is like a little goofy, like he's from like the 80s or something. Something about his little like mullet I don't necessarily love, but I do think that as a design, it's pretty classic and it's absolutely Sylvain. He just owns that look. So while it's potentially not my favorite Sylvain look, it's good. I'm gonna put it B tier. It just sometimes looks a little crazy looking to me. As for his time skip design, I definitely enjoy it, although it's definitely also not my favorite of favorites. It's a little strange, especially the colors that they went for it. Quite different than I would have originally thought of, but I think it also kind of works too. I'm gonna put the time skip version of Sylvain. You know what? I think we're gonna have to switch this up. I'm gonna have to put original Sylvain into C tier. I think it definitely deserves a little bit better than that, but just based on the spread that I have going so far, I absolutely like time skip Sylvain a little bit better. It's just a little bit more like refined and regal for him. I don't necessarily know that it completely fits him. It's almost a little too fancy for him, I think. But in terms of Sylvain living his best life and trying to be the best version of himself, I definitely think it's a little bit closer to what I would expect for him. And now the Warriors 3 Hopes version of Sylvain. I'm also going to put this one in B tier as well. I like this one better in a lot of ways. I like the blowout, although I do think they kind of missed an opportunity here to add like a little something more to this, because it just looks a little plain. It's almost like, I almost want to give him like a little Dragon Ball Z-esque like single hair strand that comes down or something like that in the front or something, like a Super Saiyan 3 haircut. I don't know why, but it's like he just needs like a little something there to make it just a little bit beyond like average looking as a hairstyle. It's just a little bit boring. But I do think the spikiness kind of works with Sylvain, and it kind of does keep some of that from his original design as well, but it's more almost, I guess you could say, straightened. The straightened spikes, I think, really work better for him. And I love the scarf, actually. I actually misspoke in my Blue Lions video. I said he kept his scarf, but he didn't have a scarf in his original time skip appearance. He did have that kind of teal color, though, around his neck. I think the scarf works really well. I also do find it interesting that, in general, they gave him kind of the plain and generic looking, like silverish shoulder armor in both his original time skip and now the Warriors 3 Hopes time skip appearances. So that was an interesting choice, but once again, it kind of works. It's like they picked a lot of interesting color palettes for the characters of this game, things that you probably wouldn't originally expect, right? I mean, most of the Blue Lions, you could probably assume they would have some kind of blue on them, and they typically do. But the shades and the hues that they went with are way different than I would have expected for the characters. I mean, with a character with orangey red hair like Sylvain, going like greeny teal, I guess it makes sense, but it's kind of a risk like to make it look too Christmassy, I suppose. But I think they pulled it off, and I like it. Maybe this one will grow on me even more. It could probably be an A tier as well. Once again, I think it's a great version of Sylvain, but it just seems like it's missing a little something to me to make it all the way into A tier. And now last but not certainly least, or maybe least, we'll have to see, is Ash. So Ash's original pre-time skip appearance, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. He kind of looks like a dorky middle schooler to a degree, and maybe that's part of the charm, but that just doesn't really do it for me very well. I'm gonna put that one in D tier. Sorry, Ash stands out there. I don't love it. His little hood is kind of interesting, but I don't know, it's a slight misfire for me. It's not really everything all clicking and firing in all cylinders. So that one's that. I'm gonna put time skip Ash into C tier as well. I really like the colors of this outfit with like the teal and the maroony pink. I think that part of it is great. I think his hair is definitely improved. It's okay. It's okay, I don't mind it. Maybe you could argue it should go in B tier, but you know, it could be a little bit better. And last but not least, before we do the final alt of Dimitri, we do have this Warriors 3 Hopes time skip version of Ash. And I have to say, it's definitely an improvement in some ways. I like the hair way better, though he does kind of look like now he's part of a K-pop group like BTS or something like that. Definitely in a boy band of some degree, but I do think it's like the best hair that he's gotten so far. Definitely discovered conditioner. However, his outfit, I don't love it quite as much as the time skip actual outfit that they gave him. I really kind of miss the maroon and the light blue that they had originally. And they did harken back to his original pre-time skip outfit with this one. There's a lot of gold built into there. And he kind of keeps the blue hood aesthetic as well. So I appreciate that, but it's just not my favorite. It looks a little boring. So he's gonna land in B tier for me. So with that said, there's no Fs here. Like I said, I think the Blue Lions overall are a really solid group. Quite happy with their designs overall. I really like them. And as for the final Dimitri design, this is the alternate hairstyle that you can unlock in 3 houses. I've never actually, unfortunately, done a playthrough with this hairstyle, but I really like it. I think this is like maybe one of the most ideal versions of Dimitri imaginable. So this is an S tier for me. It's like the Dimitri that you got in the golden ending or something like that, if there was one in 3 houses. So I really like that one. Overall, Blue Lions designs, I think they're great. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you'd like to actually try out this tier list yourself, I'll also include a link down in the description as well so you can play around with it. I made this one and I'm gonna make 2 more others for the other groups if I do those as well. Be sure to let me know if you'd like to see those. And I'll definitely do those, especially once we get the Golden Deer students this upcoming Friday. That's gonna be pretty fun to find out as well. So definitely be sure to stay tuned for that and get subscribed if you haven't yet. If you like this video, do me a solid and slash the thumbs up down below. And also shout out to our amazing patrons who help to make content like this possible. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for my Shozokaga video, so I apologize about that. It is coming, I'm working on it, but it wasn't quite ready yet for today, so this is what I have for you instead. Let me know your thoughts. Is my taste horrible? I mean, it's not, but you could definitely let me know down below. And I'll see you guys next time. So catch you later.